Hello and welcome to the Spread for the World podcast on knowledge management. My name is Stefan Emrich, and today we speak about knowledge management. Why is this important? Why do we have to speak about it? Well, I really think knowledge management is key to every organization. If you share your knowledge, everybody will win. I've broadcasted this video just using Zoom. This is also probably interesting for those of you who participate in the online training on online moderation. So I just use Zoom here. That's why the quality is a bit different than in the other videos, but I'm pretty sure that it's good enough. Well, what is knowledge management? Well, I prepared a PowerPoint some of you already have seen, and I want to share this with you. Here we go. So first of all, I want to start with an easy definition of knowledge management. Knowledge management is a process of creating, sharing, using, and managing the knowledge and information of an organization. And I will come back to these aspects later when we speak about the knowledge management cycle. But keep in mind, it's not only managing knowledge, it's also about creating, sharing, using knowledge. Or another way of defining it would be an approach to achieve an organizational objective by making the best use of knowledge. And that also explains why I think it's so important. It's really about achieving our objectives as CPS organizations. And therefore, we have to make the best use of our knowledge, the knowledge we have in our organization, and share that with our partners. So what is knowledge management? And there is no really clear way of introducing knowledge management into your organization. But generally speaking, we speak about different aspects. We speak about the intellectual capital we need to have in an organization. We speak about information technology we can use, and we speak about the whole culture of the organization. If all these three aspects work together, we have good people, good staff, a good team, and that's something I assume we all have. And we have access to good information technology, computers, etc. And we have an organizational culture which encourages sharing of information, sharing of knowledge. Then we have the best basis for a good knowledge management. There's one fairly well-known model. It's called the TOP model. T for technology, O for organization, and P for people. And it starts with technology. We need to have information and communication technologies as tools of flexible knowledge management. Well, we don't necessarily have to have them, but it helps so much. If you can use a good software, if we can use good email programs or even team programs like Rocket Chat, or do we have access to a cloud, to a next cloud, or at least a Google Drive? Can we share our information through videos, etc.? Technological aspect is quite important, and that's why also big organizations invest so much in that. Nowadays, they all use Slack or any other tools to really distribute information and knowledge as fast as possible. Well, then it's about the people. It's about us. It's about our own behavior. Are we willing to share our knowledge? Is there a sharing culture in our organization, but also within us? Are we willing to support a continuous knowledge transfer? If we went to a workshop, for example, are we willing to share our new knowledge with our colleagues? And then it's about the organization as such. Does the information develop methods of knowledge acquisition, storage, and transfer? Are we interested in creating a sort of a knowledge management system? And do we provide a culture that encourages our staff to actually share their knowledge? So the whole organization and its system, it's the people and their behavior, our behavior, and then it's the tools we can use. If you do some research about knowledge management, sooner or later you will come across the so-called knowledge cycle, because knowledge really develops in cycles. It's like a spiral. Well, first of all, you need to formulate your knowledge goals. If I work in a civil peace service organization, I might not so much be interested in gaining lots of knowledge about recipes for cooking. We have other goals, obviously, but they have to be formulated. So where do we want to gain knowledge? Then it's about generating knowledge. Maybe we read books, we watch videos, we go to workshops and seminars. Therefore, we have to identify where can we get the knowledge from, right? Maybe we already have staff people who have this knowledge. Maybe we can visit a partner organization and they can teach us something. So we need to generate knowledge, and therefore we have to know where we get it from. Then we have to store it in one way or another. Maybe we download the videos from YouTube or wherever. We collect the handouts, we write it down, what we've learned, etc. So far, the knowledge is with us. It's not really managed in a structured way, because now it's about distributing what we have learned. It's making the videos, the handouts, the minutes available to others, explain them what we have learned, tell them where it's stored, etc. But, when we have knowledge, it's worth nothing if we don't apply it. So we have to use our new knowledge. We have to apply it really. And that is, for many people, that's kind of whoa, why should we unlearn? Well, actually, unlearning is also important, so we don't get lost in our routines. We've gained knowledge years ago in order to do something in a certain way, but maybe this way is not adequate anymore. So we have to be ready to unlearn what we thought was suitable and be ready for new learnings. So it's really a cycle. And then once in a while, we have to reformulate our goals. Do we have all the information we need about a certain topic? Do we probably have any other needs? Let's formulate these needs in terms of knowledge needs, and then start over again, generate new knowledge, store it, distribute it, apply it, and unlearn. So that's the so-called knowledge cycle. One other aspect when we speak about knowledge is the distinction between implicit and explicit knowledge. While implicit knowledge is very much linked to an individual. It's linked to me, for example. I know speaking German. This is stored in my body. It's in my head. I have it. It's not visible when you see me. You don't necessarily know that I'm German and I'm able to speak this language. But I can do it. It's very difficult to explain it and to transmit it. I can tell you a lot about German language, but that will not make you able to actually speak some language. So it's linked to me as a person. It's the same with like riding a bike. Everybody can learn riding a bike, but it's very difficult to transmit this knowledge. I can explain you, okay, you grab the bike, you but how can I explain you how to write it? You actually have to do it. And then once you've learned it, this knowledge is linked to you. It's not that because of that, everybody in your team knows how to ride a bike. So we have to know which of the knowledge available in the team is implicit and which is explicit, which knowledge can be stored. Explicit knowledge is basically knowledge which is not so much linked to an individual. It's more context-based. It can be stored. You can write it down. You can share it with others. Basically, it can be put in words. And because of that, it can be more or less easily transmitted. And it can be imitated. Your colleagues can imitate what you told them, and then they can do it themselves. It can be stored in reference books or videos or whatever is adequate for you. But I think this distinction is very important if we make an assessment, for example, about the knowledge available in our office. We will have some implicit aspects, and we will have explicit aspects which we easily can transmit to, for example, new colleagues. Basically, what I want to say, let's get rid of the old paradigm, knowledge is power. I know that many organizations all over the world still follow this paradigm. The director needs to know everything, and he's not or she's not so willing to distribute his or her knowledge. So she uses knowledge as a power power tool. But actually, this is not good for the organization. The new paradigm is so much better. Knowledge is an immaterial good whose value increases through use and division. The more you share your knowledge, the richer your organization will become. Because in contrast to all other resources, it's a never-ending resource. We can learn and learn, and the more I'm willing to share, the more my partners are willing to share, and we all win at the end. So that's a bit of a basic information about knowledge management. And now it's up to us as organizations, it's up to you how to use this and how to create a knowledge management system in your organization. Thanks very much for listening. This was a Bread for the World podcast on knowledge management. Yeah, goodbye, and looking very much forward to see you in our next podcast. Bye-bye.